Okay, so would definitely not put this in the category of a beginner song at all. This is pretty painful stretch all the way throughout this song until you get to the chorus and you get to rest your hands a little bit. Um, so I think this is probably one of the more underrated Dave Matthews Band songs. I think it's a great song. Love the Lily White Sessions version. And I tabbed this from an acoustic set that he did with Tim Reynolds in, I would say, right around the time that Busted Stuff came out. It's probably early 2000s, somewhere around there. I left out one part that I was playing right there that we'll talk about here in just a minute. So his hand placement is pretty much the exact same as 41. And then that chord's actually in the song right here. But we'll start off, we're going to be on the A string and the B string on the 4th fret. We're going to stretch all the way over to the D string on the 2nd fret, and then the G string on the 1st fret. Okay, and then he goes through that a couple of times, just kind of as the intro. And then once he gets into it and says, "Crazy how I make," and then when he says "make," you're taking that exact same shape, you're moving everything up 1 fret, okay? You're still on 4 here, you're on 2 and 1 right there, okay? And then you're gonna come up, again, same shape, but we're gonna be on the E string 7th fret, G string 7th fret. We're gonna stretch these two over to the A string 5th fret and the D string 4th fret. Okay? And that's that chord that's also number 41. Then the final chord that he only hits for a note or two is probably the hardest stretch of them all. And we are on the 5th fret E string. We're on the 6th fret G string. And then we'll be on the A string 4th fret and the D string all the way onto the 2nd fret. And like I've discussed in other videos, when you get these long stretches, always pay attention to the placement of your thumb. A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you got big hands, you can do it." The size of your hands doesn't matter that much when you work on the placement of your thumb on the back of the neck, okay? So if you're playing up here, if your thumb's still up here, yeah, it's going to be hard to make that stretch. If you get it more into the middle part of that neck and then bring these up, makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that, you go through that, he strums that. The strumming pattern for the chorus verse is different than the chorus, okay? And then, or well, actually it's kind of each time he goes through that, he goes back through it again with a different pattern, okay? So this will be when he's singing. And he only hits that like that, and then goes back through all that and goes. After each time he sings, okay? So then we'll get into the chorus where he kind of gets that high kind of falsetto. And we're going to be starting with an A chord. Then we're going to go to an E minor chord right here. Then we're just going to go to an octave on the A string and the G string on the 2nd and the 4th frets. Then we're just going to move down 1 fret to the 1st and the 3rd. And I'll go over the strumming pattern on this, okay? So it's... Okay, so he's so it's just the only strange part of that really is where he's going. Okay, so that's the only strange part kind of strumming wise there on that chorus. And then he just, from there he just goes back and goes. So it's play with me again. Okay? And then the bridge of this song is probably the easiest part of the song. We're just going to come down here on the A and the D strings on the 4th and the 6th frets. And then all you're going to do is put your middle finger on the 5th fret E string. Kind of a strange sounding chord, but it sounds really good with the rest of the song. And then we'll bring it over to another long stretch. So we'll be on the E string 2nd fret, A string 4th fret, D string 6th fret. Okay, and when you go to that final chord, if that hurts a little bit too much with your middle finger there, you can cheat a little bit, take it off, and it gives you a little bit of an easier stretch, and you can just be on the E string 2nd fret and the D string 6th fret. It sounds a little bit different, but you still get kind of the same sound out of it. And it just, like I said, I know for a lot of people it's a crazy stretch for people. So, but work to try and get that middle finger on there if you can. Just do some stretches or just play this song as much as you can. And then, like I was saying earlier, one part that I didn't play, when he goes into same old song, won't you come stay with me, my love. When he does that, you're going from this chord right here. Instead of going to that chord, you're going to go from here, and we're just going to go right here. We're going to be on the A string 4th fret, and then we'll be on the D and the G 6th fret, and then you'll bring your middle finger right here onto the B string 5th fret. Then we're just going to pull an octave on the A and D on the 3rd and 5th frets. And then we're going to go to a C chord, and then a G. That's where he says, stay with me again. So all that together right there, like I said, that's what I didn't play in the very beginning of the song, or in the very beginning of this video. So same old song, won't you come stay with me? And then my love, after all. Okay, so when he says after all, it's going to be a C and then a D from that chord there. Okay. Ignore my singing, I was just trying to kind of explain it. Okay? And like I said, I mean, that's the whole song right there. I know there's a lot to it. And hopefully I explained everything pretty clearly. It's a huge stretch, and it's pretty crazy. If you go find, I found a couple of other videos that he had done back in like '97, somewhere around there. There's one with he and Tim Reynolds, and he's playing it, and this part is different. He's playing something up here that's a little different. Since that was such an early version, they switched it, and everything that I found from the Lily White sessions forward was played like this. So stick with that. That's the right way to play it. And just work with this song, because it's definitely not a beginner song. It's a pretty tough one, just with all the stretches, and try not to buzz strings and all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this and it was informative. and subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.